Welcome to the opening ceremony of the International Institute for Carbon Neutral Energy Research, or I²CNER. My name is Sachiko Fujisawa. I am a staff member of the I²CNER's administrative office, and I am very excited and honored to be emceeing on this grand occasion. I'd like to begin by introducing to you the president of Kyushu University, who is responsible for I²CNER's initiative and is making the opening speech. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyushu University President, Setsuo Arikawa.
Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to attend the opening ceremony of the International Institute for Carbon Neutral Energy Research, or I²CNER, pronounced I²CNER, of Kyushu University. I extend my warmest and heartfelt welcome to each of you gathered here today. I'm particularly pleased to introduce two special guests, Mr. Itaru Watanabe, Deputy Director General of Science Technology Policy Bureau at the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology, and Mr. Mark Dieker, Counsel for Political and Economic Affairs of the United States Consulate, Fukuoka. I understand that English is the operational language of the Institute, so I will give this speech in English. As you know, the world premier International Research Center, or WPI initiative, was launched in 2007 by Japan's Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology. Since its establishment, the WPI has supported the development of 5 world-class research centers, and in July of this year, the I²CNER was selected as the 6th and newest member of the WPI family. This institute will serve in the vital area of energy research and sustainability through scientific contribution toward the realization of a low-carbon energy society. After receiving this news 4 months ago, we began preparations for the December the 1st launch of the I²CNER. While it would have been ideal to host the institute opening at the new research facility, it is not complete. But we will have the director's office temporarily here at Inamori Center. From now on, the I²CNER will tirelessly pursue the green innovation and reduce CO2 emissions, as well as advance fundamental science by fusing various fields to establish a non-fossil-based energy carrier system and develops science-driven technological solutions for the realization of sustainable and environmentally friendly society. Additionally, the WPI program also seeks to reform and elevate research environment to the highest international standards. To this end, the I²CNER is headed by an American director, Professor Petros Sophronis of the University of Illinois, where a satellite institute is located. Under the strong leadership of Professor Sophronis, the I²CNER seeks to incorporate work experience obtained at the world-class research university into the operation of not only the institute itself, but also of Kyushu University. This approach to management also characterizes a paradigm shift for research, operation, and administration at Japanese universities. As one of the main pillars of internationalization promoted by Kyushu University, the I²CNER will aggressively pursue interdisciplinary research by strengthening collaborative research activities and ties with both domestic and international universities, research centers, and related institutes. Director Sophronis has already begun contacting relevant institutions in the United States and has been working to initiate an international network, research cooperation and partnership. In closing, I'd like to thank you for your generous support and for your kind understanding of our efforts as we work toward the realization of carbon neutral energy-filled world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, President Arikawa. Thank you. It is my great pleasure to introduce our first guest speaker, Mr. Itaru Watanabe, the Deputy Director General of Science and Technology Policy Bureau at Japan's Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology, or MEXT. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Mr. Itaru Watanabe.
Thank you for the introduction and for the invitation to speak today. I am Itaru Watanabe at Science and Technology Policy Bureau of the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology. We call MEXT for short. It is a privilege to be here today at the opening ceremony of the I²CNER, the International Institute for Carbon Neutral Energy Research of Kyushu University. I would like to take this opportunity to offer my congratulations to President Arikawa and Director Sophronis and everyone concerned. Back in 2007, MEXT launched the world premier International Research Center initiative, or simply we call this WPI. Background of this initiative is a need for innovation that serves as an engine of economic growth and social advancement at the time of the new progress in Japanese economy, in considering of a necessity for productivity improvement and intensifying international competition in our population decreasing society, and the need for the Japan's own innovation to be even faster and stronger. For us to raise the level of our science and technology and to continuously drive innovation for future success, we need to advance fundamental science and improve our global competitiveness. To accomplish this goal, it is important for us to create out-of-the-box research platforms that attract the world's talented researchers and achieve excellent research outcomes, as well as to create a place that will develop outstanding human researchers here in Japan. This year, the I²CNER was selected as a new WPI center that expected to play a world-leading role in advancing environment technology, and I believe that the new center will, with the director's mid to long-term vision, establish an international research institute, achieve a breakthrough in existing academic disciplines in addition to top-level research, and to bring about a transformation of conventional Japanese research system. We, the MEXT, have received firm commitments of these initiatives from the President of Kyushu University, Center Director, and concerned parties. We have high expectations for the I²CNERs and wish you the best of success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Watanabe. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you our second guest speaker, Mr. Mark Dieker, Counsel for Political and Economic Affairs of the American Consulate, Fukuoka. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and pleasure to introduce Mr. Mark Dieker.
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Dieker from the U.S. Consulate in Fukuoka. I'm very honored to be here today for this unveiling ceremony for the International Institute for Carbon Neutral Energy Research. Since I arrived to Fukuoka last year, I've been very impressed with the work that Kyushu University has been doing to contribute toward the goal of a hydrogen-based energy society. For example, I have been particularly impressed with the cutting-edge hydrogen energy research I saw being conducted at the Research Center for Hydrogen Industrial Use and Storage, more commonly known as I²CNER, which Dr. Yukitaka Murakami introduced me to last year. As you all know, the establishment of this I²CNER attracted the attention of the American scientific community, and researchers from prestigious U.S. institutions such as the University of Illinois, University of California, Berkeley, and the Sandia National Laboratories have been interacting with it since its inception. In addition, I was also very fortunate this past year to be one of the 500 participants from 20 countries who participated in the annual International Hydrogen Energy Development Forum, which I²CNER, the Fukuoka Prefectural Government, and Kyushu University hosted this year for the 4th time. The reason I am so honored to be here today, though, is that it is my really strong belief that the International Institute for Carbon Neutral Energy Research will become a symbol for U.S.-Japan cooperation on energy technologies. And I believe this for 3 reasons. First, the Institute will be headed by Professor Petros Sophronis of the University of Illinois, who has led groundbreaking research on the mechanisms of hydrogen embrittlement for the U.S. Department of Energy Fuel Cell Technologies Program. Second, the Institute will have a satellite center at the University of Illinois, which will serve as a hub for collaboration with many other institutions in the United States. And third, the vision that Kyushu University and the University of Illinois share for this institute, it really dovetails with the United States and Japan's program on cooperation on clean energy technologies, which was agreed to by President Obama and Prime Minister Hatoyama in November last year. This agreement enhances U.S.-Japan cooperative research on renewable energies, energy-efficient buildings, and next-generation vehicles. It increases U.S.-Japan cooperation on carbon capture and storage, including the development of new capture methods, simulation tools, and monitoring methods. And it also enhances U.S.-Japan partnerships on the development of joint multilateral projects, such as some of those projects currently going on at APEC. Needless to say, this vision is also very consistent with the United States and Japan's shared goal of solving the problem of global warming. Once again, I'm very honored to be here and wish the International Institute for Carbon Neutral Energy Research all the greatest possible future success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dieker. Thank you. Our last speaker today is the director of the I²CNER, Professor Petros Sophronis of the University of Illinois. Director Sophronis will give you a short presentation on the I²CNER, and Professor Murakami, who is a vice director of the I²CNER, will provide translation. Please join me in welcoming Director Sophronis and Vice Director Murakami.
Mr. President, Mr. Deputy Director General, Mr. Connor, Consul, distinguished guests, it is a great pleasure to be before you today and present and outline this concept of the Kyushu WPI. Indeed, it is not every day that a scientist like me has the opportunity to speak on such a splendid occasion. So I'm really touched by this splendid ceremony, and so today I would like to present to you this wonderful research initiative that is launched by the Kyushu University and the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. In order to reduce the CO2 emissions, the Kyushu University, the University of Illinois, under the umbrella of the WPI, are planning to advance fundamental science on removing the roadblocks for a hydrogen-fueled society and carbon capture and sequestration. In order to do this, as scientists, we will explore the interactions between gases, hydrogen and CO2, and materials. To do that, we plan to involve almost all physical disciplines, starting from fluid mechanics, chemistry, physics, material science, geoscience. And we plan in the next 5 years down the road to enable technologies such as hydrogen production, hydrogen storage materials, hydrogen-resistant materials, technologies for carbon capture and sequestration. To do all these noble concepts, to carry out these wonderful research activities, Kyushu University, which is a world-class academic environment with some of the best laboratories in the world, came in contact with the University of Illinois. When I say some of the best laboratories in the world, for instance, you can see here the Hydrogenius, which is the best equipped, the best funded laboratory on hydrogen research in the world. I've been all around the world. I've been in Europe. I've been all around the United States. I must admit, this is a top laboratory. So, Kyushu University and the University of Illinois, which is also a top institution in the world. Just by way of example, I would like to show here the colleges of engineering. The ranking of the colleges of engineering, as you see, the University of Illinois is the 5th engineering college. I'm sure this WPI will help the College of Engineering to move ahead on the scale. So we've got these two wonderful institutions, and we are planning to embark on fundamental science that is related with hydrogen and CO2. In the area of hydrogen, we plan to understand phenomena that will allow efficient hydrogen storage. We plan to investigate materials and make them resistant to the presence of hydrogen. We plan to develop the next generation fuel cells in order to make the fuel cell car a reality. To do that, we have a division here in which we plan to investigate hydrogen production by using the sunlight. This is indeed a futuristic concept, entirely futuristic concept, where we will have an energy carrier like hydrogen produced by using the energy of the sun. So we plan to understand the thermophysical properties of hydrogen and CO2. As you know, once you put CO2 underneath the ground, you need to understand how CO2 tries to escape from its storage location. You need to understand notions of diffusivity, absorption, interaction of CO2 with the soil. We plan to explore intelligent material transformations. You see, we don't only focus on mitigation strategies to capture and store hydrogen. We also focus on attacking the problem at the very source. In other words, can we get CO2 and reduce it and turn it into a useful product? This is another ambitious project that we have in our institute. At the same time, as I've already said, we try to concentrate and separate hydrogen from other gases. We try to sequester it underneath the ground, and we also try possibly to sequester it underneath the ocean. There are wonderful aspects of science that we will investigate in this entire project, and they involve multiple scales that range from nanoseconds, because we shall investigate atomic vibrations of hydrogen within the crystalline structure of the material, to centuries, because we want to understand whether we can keep CO2 underneath the ground for centuries. So we are to investigate phenomena that span, as we say, multiple length and time scales. What is our programmatic structure? We plan to educate, as I say, the next generation of scientists for science and technology. We are educational institutions, Kyushu University and the University of Illinois, and we are looking to produce the next generation of scientists. We are going to exchange graduate students, postdocs, and faculty. This is a wonderful opportunity for the students in the audience to hear that those of you who want to join WPI will have the opportunity to go and spend a semester at the University of Illinois campus. And by the way, the University of Illinois campus is one of the most beautiful campuses in the world. Okay, as you see, I advertise the University of Illinois. At the same time, University of Illinois students are going to come here along with their faculty and their advisors. You see, in the United States, you cannot be considered as a successful graduate unless you spend a semester abroad. We are living in the 21st century, and our education needs to be global. So the United States somewhat requires, if I may say, that the American students spend a semester abroad. I don't see why the Kyushu students cannot spend a semester in the United States. So at the Kyushu University, we plan to establish this international environment and network. We want to turn the Kyushu University as a hub where scientists from all over the world will converge in order to investigate the phenomena that I just described. Illinois, we are interested in advancing the research collaborations with Japan. Japan is one of the biggest world economies in the world. It is in the interest of the University of Illinois to get involved with the research and technology activities in such an upcoming and forwardly moving university such as the Kyushu University.
今非常に重要なメッセージがですね、学生に送られました。今この水素とか CO2 とか水素の製造にこの WPI の分野だけの学生じゃなくてですね、他の分野の学生もですね、ぜひ これを機会にですね、イリノイ大学にでもですね、来てほしいと。イリノイ大学の学生もこちら来ますよということですので、WPI 関連の先生方だけではなくてですね、全学的にそういう気持ちを持ってですね、私たちは進みたいと思いますので、先生方もよろしくお願いします。
As Consul Dieker mentioned in his presentation, I'd like to say that there is no time more opportune for our WPI to be launched. Our two leaders, the President of the United States and the Minister of Japan, agreed that we need to develop the next generation vehicles. Allow me to say here that Kyushu University has one of the best laboratories in fuel cell technology. My associate director, Professor Kazunari Sasaki, is leading the effort. So we have, in other words, the infrastructure, the science, in order to launch the next generation vehicle. And we are going to improve in what we are doing today through the WPI. In case you want to find more about this, this is taken from the White House website. So why we believe we shall be successful? Somebody may ask, this is an enormous effort. How do we know whether you'll be successful? We have partnerships in place. We are collaborating with the Midwest Geological Sequestration Consortium at Illinois. As you may know, the state of Illinois is one of the states that has the oldest geological survey in the world. There is a lot of experience about sequestering CO2 over there. And so we are partnering with the state of Illinois in order to make sure that we continue and transfer the same technologies here at Kyushu University, because we plan also to drill a well here at the Kyushu University. So we will here transfer experience from Illinois to Kyushu University. We have partnerships with the University of California at Berkeley, and we also plan to continue with the so-called Livermore Valley Open Campus that is set between the Sandia National Laboratories and the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory at California. In fact, what we want to have is a workshop every year in which Kyushu scientists, Japanese scientists, and Illinois scientists converge in California and discuss carbon capture and sequestration, fuel cell technologies, hydrogen storage materials. So the Sandia National Laboratories offered to collaborate with us at their site at Livermore, California. Argonne National Laboratory is a laboratory next to the University of Illinois, is very famous on energy technologies, and we plan to collaborate with them. We are already in contact with that laboratory. We leverage, for our success, the Fukuoka Strategy Conference on Hydrogen Energy. A very important person for our success is Mr. Aso, the governor of Fukuoka. He is an advocate for hydrogen research. He has demonstrated over the past 5 years by his strong support he provided to the project of Hydrogenius here in Japan. So we feel strongly, by having the governor's backing, that WPI will be another successful project as the Hydrogenius project. We have the support of the United States Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy Department of the Department of Energy. In fact, the director of the Fuel Cell Technologies program talked with me before I came here, and she told me that the program, the US Department of Energy program, is looking forward to see how WPI and the program in the Department of Energy can align our interests in order to promote what both countries need, a hydrogen-fueled society. we can leverage support from NSF. In fact, as I told my steering science committee yesterday, we will try to develop an international materials network that will be funded jointly by the National Science Foundation of the United States and the Japan Society for the Promotion of Science, that will involve a broad spectrum of countries: Germany, Japan, and Europe and the United States. We shall be successful. I have no doubt about that, because we have the Fukuoka team. This Fukuoka team, when I had come here, was it 2005, Professor Murakami? At that time, there wasn't Fukuoka team, as I recall. But look, where are we this year? So Kyushu University knows how to build teams. And I don't see why we cannot build a successful WPI team. And here are my expectations. Here are the expectations of my colleagues, both at the University of Illinois and Kyushu University. If we manage and succeed on all these aspects here, we believe that our WPI will be put on the world map. For instance, if Professor Akiba manages and develops a hydrogen storage material that can have gravimetric capacity more than 6%, then the fuel cell car is a reality, not a dream. So this is my closing slide. I'd say that we have started a wonderful institute here at Kyushu University. We plan to focus on hydrogen to get the next generation vehicle. We plan to reduce carbon emissions, and in general, we plan to internationalize the community at Kyushu University and, of course, at the University of Illinois. And because, again, I'm talking before students also, and as a professor, my first priority is always what is best for my students. I say to the students of Kyushu University today, this is a golden opportunity for you. I say, try to visit me, try to visit the PIs of our center here, the principal investigators, try to talk to them, and try to ask to join their labs. Regardless of whether you are a graduate student or an undergraduate student, you can get experience, you can get exposed to the international culture, academic culture, international academic culture that we try to establish here at the Kyushu WPI. And I thank you very much for your attention. I would like to thank, on this very day, my colleague Professor Murakami, who is indeed the brain behind all this operation. I would like to thank the Kyushu faculty who helped me, really helped me understand the culture of Kyushu University here, who worked with me in the preparation of the proposal that we submitted to the government of Japan. And this is a success story that we all share together. Again, I thank you very much.
Thank you very much again, Professor Sophronis. Thank you, Professor Murakami. This concludes the speeches, and now we move on to a brief unveiling ceremony. For the unveiling, we'd like to invite two of our guests, Mr. Watanabe of the MEXT and Mr. Dieker of the American Consulate, Fukuoka, along with President Arikawa and Director Sophronis. And now, ladies and gentlemen, in celebration of the opening of the I²CNER of Kyushu University, on the count of 3. 3, 2, 1, unveil.